The big surprise. The big room was full of noise. Aliens from all over the galaxy sat around a huge table. They looked funny. Some had big eyes, others had long necks, and a few even had 3 heads. This was the Galactic Council, where important space people met to talk about big problems. Today, they were all excited about something new. A small green alien with antennas stood up. His name was Zorb, and he was in charge of watching for danger in space. "Friends, I have big news," Zorb said. His antenna wiggled as he talked. "We found an old ship near a planet called Earth." The room got very quiet. Everyone knew about Earth. It was a place where humans used to live. But humans disappeared a long, long time ago. No one had seen them for thousands of years. "Show us the ship," said a big blue alien. He was Boss Blug, the leader of the council. Zorp pressed a button. A big screen appeared in the middle of the room. On it, everyone could see an old, rusty ship floating in space. It looked very old and broken. "Ha! Look at that piece of junk," laughed a red alien with 4 arms. "It's so old, I bet it would fall apart if we touched it," said another. Boss Blug looked closely at the screen. "Is it dangerous?" he asked. Zorp shook his head. "No, sir. It's just an old human warship. It hasn't moved in years. We think it's been floating there since humans disappeared." The aliens all started talking at once. Some thought it was funny. Others were a little scared. Humans used to be very good at fighting, and this was one of their warships. "What should we do with it?" asked a small, purple alien. Boss Blug thought for a moment. Then he smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. "I say we blow it up. It's space trash, and we don't want it floating around." Many aliens cheered. They liked this idea. Blowing things up was fun. "Wait," said Zorb. "Maybe we should study it first. We might learn something about the humans." But Boss Blood didn't like that idea. "No way. Humans are gone. This ship is useless. We'll destroy it and have a big party." The other aliens loved this plan. They all started talking about what food they would eat at the party. Okay, said Boss Blug, trying to quiet everyone down. "Let's vote. Who wants to blow up the ship?" Almost every alien raised their hand, tentacle, or whatever they had. It was decided. The old human ship would be destroyed. "Excellent," Boss Blug said. "Zorp, send our best ships to blow up that human junk." Zorp didn't look happy, but he had to do what the boss said. He sent a message to the Galactic fleet. 5 of the best alien ships flew off to destroy the human warship. The Galactic Council watched on the big screen. The 5 alien ships looked shiny and new next to the old, rusty human ship. They got closer and closer. "This will be fun to watch," said the red alien with 4 arms. But then, something strange happened. Just as the alien ships got very close to the human ship, a light turned on. It was small, just a tiny red dot on the old ship. "What's that?" asked Boss Blug. He didn't sound so sure of himself now. Zorp looked at his computer. His antenna stood straight up in surprise. "Sir, the ship, it's turning on." Everyone in the room gasped. How could an old, broken ship just turn on by itself? Suddenly, more lights started to blink on the human ship. Its big engines began to glow. Huge guns appeared from hidden spots all over the ship. The aliens watched in shock as the old, rusty ship transformed. In just a few seconds, it didn't look old or rusty anymore. It looked new, shiny, and very, very dangerous. "Impossible," shouted Boss Blug. "It can't be." But it was. The human warship was awake, and it looked ready for a fight. The 5 alien ships, which had seemed so big and tough before, now looked small and weak next to it. Zorp's computer started beeping like crazy. "Sir, the human ship. It's powering up its weapons." The room erupted in chaos. Aliens were running around, shouting, and hiding under the table. Boss Blug's face had turned from blue to a pale green color. As they watched, the human ship sent out a message. It was in a language no one had heard for thousands of years, but somehow they all understood what it meant. We're back. The big surprise wasn't that they found an old human ship. The big surprise was that humans were still around, and they were ready to show the galaxy they were still here. The Galactic Council's easy day had just turned into their worst nightmare, and it was only the beginning. The ship wakes up. The 5 alien ships hung in space, their crews frozen in shock. The old human warship, which moments ago had looked like space junk, was now alive with blinking lights and humming engines. Its massive guns were pointed right at them. Inside the lead alien ship, Captain Zlix was shaking. His purple tentacles were tied in knots from stress. "What do we do?" he asked his crew. Nobody had an answer. They were supposed to blow up an old, dead ship. Now they were facing a fully armed warship. Back in the Galactic Council room, chaos reigned. Aliens were running around, shouting, and some were even hiding under the big table. Boss Blug, the council leader, was no longer laughing. His blue face had turned a sickly green color. "Zorp," Blug shouted. "What's happening? How did that ship wake up?" Zorp, the little green alien with antennas, was typing furiously on his computer. "I don't know, sir. It's impossible. That ship is thousands of years old. It shouldn't be working." Suddenly, a loud voice boomed through every speaker in the room. It was speaking in an old language that nobody had heard for ages, but somehow they all understood. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Force Ship Horizon. We've been asleep for a long time, but now we're awake, and we're not happy to see guns pointed at us. Explain yourselves, or prepare for battle." The room went silent. Then everyone started talking at once. "Humans, they're still alive. How is this possible? We're doomed." Boss Blug was trying to think fast. This was bad. Very bad. If humans were back, his days as the big boss of the galaxy might be over. Meanwhile, inside the human ship Horizon, things were just as crazy. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, looking out at the alien ships. Her crew was waking up all around her, rubbing their eyes and looking confused. "Status report," Sarah ordered. Her second-in-command, a tall man named Jack, checked the ship's computer. "All systems operational, Captain. But something's wrong. According to our clock, we've been asleep for over 5,000 years." Sarah's eyes went wide. 5,000 years. That's impossible. But deep down, she knew it was true. The stars outside looked different. And those alien ships, they were nothing like what she remembered from before their long sleep. "What's the last thing you remember?" Sarah asked her crew. They all had the same story. Earth was in trouble. A big asteroid was coming. They couldn't stop it, so they sent out ships like the Horizon to sleep until it was safe to come back. They were supposed to wake up after 100 years, not 5,000. "Well, crew," Sarah said with a small smile, "looks like we overslept. But now we're awake, and we got company. Battle stations." The crew jumped into action. They might be confused, but they were trained for this. In seconds, the Horizon was ready for a fight. Outside, the alien ships were still just floating there. They looked scared. Sarah almost felt bad for them. Almost. "Open a channel," she ordered. Jack pressed some buttons. "Channel open, Captain." Sarah took a deep breath. "This is Captain Chen again. I'll say this one more time. Explain why you're here, or we start shooting. You have 1 minute." In the Galactic Council room, everyone heard the message. They all turned to Boss Blug. What would he do? Blug was sweating now. He looked at Zorp. "You talk to them. Tell them. Tell them it was all a big mistake." Zorp gulped. He pressed the button to respond. Hello, Earthship. This is Zorp of the Galactic Council. We thought you were just an old, empty ship. We didn't know anyone was inside. We're very sorry for the misunderstanding." Please don't shoot us." There was a long pause. Everyone held their breath. Then Captain Chen's voice came back. "Galactic Council. Never heard of you. Looks like a lot has changed while we were asleep. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to call back your ships. Then you're going to invite us to this council of yours. We've got a lot of catching up to do." Blug nodded so fast his head looked like it might fall off. Yes, of course. Please, come to our council. We'd be honored." As the alien ships started to move away, Sarah turned to her crew. "Well, folks, looks like we got a lot to learn about this new galaxy. But one thing's for sure, humanity is back, and we're going to make sure everyone knows it." The horizon started to move, its engines glowing bright. The ship that had been asleep for thousands of years was now wide awake, and it was ready to shake up the entire galaxy. As they flew towards the Galactic Council station, Sarah couldn't help but smile. "You know, crew," she said, "I think this is the start of a very interesting adventure." Little did she know just how right she was. The galaxy would never be the same again. Humans are back. The Galactic Council station was huge. It looked like a giant silver flower floating in space. As the human ship Horizon got closer, its crew stared in wonder. "Would you look at that?" whispered Jack, Captain Sarah Chen's second-in-command. "Guess a lot really has changed in 5,000 years." Sarah nodded, her eyes fixed on the station. "Stay sharp, everyone. We don't know what to expect." As the Horizon docked, a welcome party of aliens waited nervously. They had never seen real humans before. What would these ancient creatures be like? The ship's door opened with a hiss. Out stepped Captain Sarah Chen, followed by her crew. The aliens gasped. Humans looked so normal. They had been expecting monsters. Zorp, the little green alien, stepped forward. His antennas were shaking. "Welcome to the Galactic Council station," he said. "I'm Zorp. We're very excited to meet you." Sarah looked at the strange group of aliens. Some had tentacles, others had multiple eyes. One even looked like a walking tree, but she kept her cool. "Thank you, Zorp. I'm Captain Sarah Chen of Earth. We're excited to be here too. Though I admit, we have a lot of questions." As they walked through the station, aliens of all shapes and sizes stopped to stare. Word had spread fast. Humans were back. They entered a big room where the Galactic Council was waiting. Boss Blug, still looking nervous, stood up. "Welcome, humans. We're so sorry about the misunderstanding earlier. Please, sit down. We have much to discuss." Sarah and her crew sat at the table. It felt weird. The chairs were clearly not made for humans, but they managed. "So," Sarah said, looking around the room. 5,000 years, huh? What did we miss?" For the next hour, the aliens told the humans about everything that had happened. How Earth had been hit by the big asteroid. How everyone thought humans were gone forever. How different alien races had spread across the galaxy. "But what about you?" asked a curious alien with 3 eyes. "How did you survive? Where have you been all this time?" Sarah explained about the sleep ships. How Earth had sent out crews to sleep until it was safe to return. "We were only supposed to sleep for 100 years, she said. "Guess our alarm clocks didn't work so well." The aliens looked amazed. One of them, a blue blob-like creature, spoke up. But your ship, it's so powerful. How can such old technology be so advanced?" Sarah smiled. It wasn't a friendly smile. Let's just say humans were pretty good at making things that last, and at making things that can fight. The room got very quiet. Everyone remembered how easily the Horizon had scared off the alien ships earlier. Boss Blug cleared his throat. "Yes. Well, the question is, what now? You humans have been gone so long. Your planet is, well, it's not in great shape. What are your plans?" Sarah stood up. She looked at each alien in the room. "Our plan is simple. We're going to find any other human ships that might be out there. We're going to see what's left of Earth. And then, We're going to take our place in this galaxy. Some aliens looked excited. Others looked worried. Humans were famous in old stories for being tough and clever. What would it mean now that they were back? But the galaxy has changed, said Zorb. There are rules now. Agreements between species. You can't just what? Sarah asked, raising an eyebrow. Can't just show up and expect to be treated fairly. Can't just defend ourselves if we need to. I think you'll find, Zorb, the humans are very good at adapting. And very good at surviving. She turned to her crew. Let's go. We've got work to do. As the humans stood to leave, Boss Blood jumped up. Wait, what about the council? Don't you want to join us? Sarah paused at the door. She looked back with a small smile. Let's see how things go first. For now, just remember, humans are back. And we're here to stay. The humans left the room. As soon as they were gone, the council erupted in chaos. Some aliens were shouting about danger. Others were excited about new opportunities. But they all agreed on one thing. The galaxy would never be the same. Back on the horizon, Sarah gathered her crew. All right, people. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. There might be other human ships out there. We need to find them. We need to see what's left of Earth. And we need to show this galaxy what humans can do. The crew cheered. They had slept for 5,000 years. But now, they were wide awake. And they were ready to take on whatever this new galaxy had to offer. As the horizon pulled away from the station, aliens everywhere watched in awe and fear. The ancient humans, once thought lost to history, were back, and they were about to change everything. The greatest adventure in galactic history had just begun. The big fight. The horizon sailed through space, its engines humming quietly. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, watching the stars fly by. It had been 2 weeks since they left the Galactic Council station. 2 weeks of searching for other human ships. Suddenly, alarms started blaring. Red lights flashed everywhere. "Captain," shouted Jack, running to his station. "We've got company." Sarah's eyes narrowed. What kind of company? Before Jack could answer, the ship shook violently. Everyone grabbed onto something to stay standing. "We're under attack," yelled the weapons officer. 5, no, 6 alien ships. Sarah gritted her teeth. Battle stations. Everyone, get ready for a fight. The crew jumped into action. They had trained for this, even if it was 5,000 years ago. The horizon came alive, its powerful weapons warming up. Outside, 6 sleek alien ships zoomed around the horizon. They were purple and looked like angry space sharks. Lasers shot from their fins, hitting the horizon's shields. Shields at 80%. Someone yelled. Sarah grabbed the ship's comm. "This is Captain Chen of the Earth ship Horizon. Stop your attack immediately or face the consequences." A scratchy voice answered. It wasn't friendly. "Puny humans. Did you think you could just come back and take over? The Zargan Empire rules this sector now. Prepare to be destroyed." Sarah's face hardened. "All right, if that's how they want to play it. Jack, target their lid ship. Fire when ready." The Horizon's main gun, hidden under layers of armor, slowly emerged. It was huge, easily as big as one of the alien ships. It started to glow, brighter and brighter. The alien ships noticed. They started to scatter, but it was too late. Boom! A massive beam of energy shot out from the horizon. It hit the lead alien ship dead center. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the alien ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The other alien ships paused their attack. They hadn't expected this. But Sarah wasn't done. "Fire all weapons. Show them what humans can do." The horizon lit up like a Christmas tree. Lasers, missiles, and energy beams shot out in all directions. 2 more alien ships exploded almost immediately. The remaining 3 ships tried to flee, but the horizon was faster than it looked. It chased them down, its weapons blazing. Inside the ship, the crew worked like a well-oiled machine. Some fired weapons, others repaired damage, and some guided the ship through space. It was chaos, but organized chaos. "Captain," Jack yelled over the noise. "Two ships on our tail. They're charging up some kind of big weapon." Sarah spun around. Evasive maneuvers. Dive, dive. The horizon plunged downward, just as two massive energy balls flew through the space where it had been. The balls kept going and hit one of the alien ships instead. It exploded spectacularly. "Ha!" Sarah laughed. "Looks like they need to work on their aim." The fight raged on. The horizon took some hits, but its advanced shields held strong. The alien ships, on the other hand, were falling one by one. Finally, there was only one alien ship left. It was damaged badly, smoke pouring from its engines. Sarah opened the comm again. "This is your last chance. Surrender now or be destroyed." For a long moment, there was silence. Then a weak voice came through. We surrender. Please don't shoot." The battle was over. The horizon had won. As the crew cheered, Sarah sat down heavily in her captain's chair. She was smiling, but her eyes were serious. "Good job, everyone. But this isn't over. Those ships, they called themselves the Zargan Empire. I have a feeling we haven't seen the last of them." Jack nodded, wiping sweat from his forehead. "What do we do now, Captain?" Sarah stood up, her face determined. "Now, we find out everything we can about this Zargan Empire. And we prepare. Because if they want to fight, we'll give them one they'll never forget." As the horizon moved to capture the surrendered alien ship, the crew felt a mix of excitement and worry. They had won this battle, but it was clear that bigger fights were coming. The humans were back, and they had just announced their return with a bang. The galaxy was about to learn that messing with Earth was a very, very bad idea. As stars twinkled in the distance, the horizon stood tall amidst the debris of battle. It was a symbol of human strength and resilience, and it was just getting started. Trying to talk. The horizon floated in space, its hull still smoking from the recent battle. Next to it, looking tiny and beaten, was the captured Zargan ship. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the airlock, waiting. It was time to meet the enemy face to face. With a hiss, the airlock opened. Two Zargan aliens stumbled out, their purple tentacles shaking. They looked like octopuses with legs, but their eyes were full of fear and anger. "Welcome aboard the horizon," Sarah said, trying to sound friendly. "I'm Captain Chen. And you are?" The taller Zargan spoke, its voice gurgling. "I am Commander Zlob of the Zargan Empire. This is my second, Blurb. We demand to be treated as prisoners of war." Sarah raised an eyebrow. "Prisoners? I was hoping we could just talk." Zlob's tentacles wiggled in surprise. "Talk? But we tried to destroy you." "True," Sarah nodded. "But now we have a chance to understand each other. Come on, let's go somewhere more comfortable." As they walked through the ship, Zlob and Blurb looked around in awe. The horizon was unlike anything they'd ever seen. It was old, yes, but also incredibly advanced. They entered a room with a big table. Jack was already there, along with some other crew members. Everyone sat down, humans on one side, Zargans on the other. Sarah leaned forward. "So, Commander Zlob, why did you attack us?" Zlob's eyes narrowed. "You humans are a threat. Our leaders told us you would try to take over the galaxy. We had to stop you." Jack snorted. "Take over? We just woke up from a 5,000-year nap. We're still trying to figure out what's going on." Blurp spoke up, his voice squeaky. But you're so powerful. Your ship destroyed our fleet like it was nothing." Sarah nodded. "We're good at building things that last, but that doesn't mean we want to rule anyone. We just want to find our place in this new galaxy." Zlob looked confused. His tentacles twisted around each other. "But our leaders said." "Maybe your leaders were wrong," Sarah said gently. Or maybe they were scared. New things can be frightening, especially when they're as surprising as us. For a moment, everyone was quiet. Then Zlob spoke, his voice softer. We've heard stories about humans, how you solved problems no one else could, how you made friends with the most unlikely aliens. Are those stories true? Sarah smiled. Some of them, probably. We're not perfect, but we try our best. We're explorers, inventors, dreamers. And now that we're back, we want to help make the galaxy a better place for everyone. Blurp's eyes widened. Even after we attacked you. Even then, Sarah nodded. We believe in second chances. Suddenly, alarms started blaring. Jack jumped up and ran to a computer. Captain, we've got incoming ships. Lots of them. Looks like the rest of the Zargan fleet. Zlob gasped. It's the Grand Admiral. He must have come to rescue us, or finish what we started. Sarah stood up, her face serious. Well, Commander Zlob, looks like we need to make a choice. Do we fight again, or do we try something new? Zlob looked at Blurp, then back at Sarah. His tentacles twisted nervously. I don't want to fight anymore. But the Grand Admiral won't listen to me. I'm just a small commander. Sarah grinned. Then it's a good thing you're on the most advanced ship in the galaxy. Want to help us send a message? For the next few minutes, humans and Zargans worked together. They set up a powerful communication system, one that could reach every ship in the Zargan fleet. As the Zargan ships got closer, Sarah took a deep breath. She pressed a button, and her face appeared on screens across the entire fleet. This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth ship Horizon. We are not your enemy. We're here to talk, to learn, and to make friends. Commander Zlob is here with me, safe and sound. We invite the Grand Admiral to come aboard and discuss peace. Let's make history together, not war. The space around them was tense. Would the Zargans attack? Or would they listen? Slowly, one large ship moved forward. A voice boomed across the comm system. This is Grand Admiral Zorpox. Captain Chen, your words are interesting. Perhaps it is time we talked. Sarah looked at Zlob and smiled. The commander's tentacles were waving happily. Thank you, Grand Admiral. We'll prepare for your arrival. Today might just be the start of a beautiful friendship. As the Grand Admiral's ship docked with the Horizon, Sarah felt hopeful. It wouldn't be easy, but humans were good at doing the impossible. They had slept for 5,000 years, but now they were wide awake and ready to change the galaxy, one conversation at a time. The next chapter of human history was about to be written, and it started with two simple words. Let's talk. Making new friends. The big meeting room on the Horizon was full. Humans sat on one side, Zargans on the other. In the middle, Captain Sarah Chen faced Grand Admiral Zorpox. The air was tense. Zorpox was huge. His purple tentacles were thick as tree trunks. His eyes glowed red. So, he gurgled, you humans think you can just wake up and make friends. After we thought you were gone forever. Sarah stood tall. We didn't plan to sleep for 5,000 years. But now that we're awake, yes, we want to make friends. Is that so hard to believe? Zorpox's tentacles wiggled angrily. Hard. It's impossible. You humans are too powerful. You'll try to take over. Just then, alarms started blaring. Jack ran to a computer. Captain, we've got new ships coming. But they're not Zargan. Everyone looked at the big screen. 3 shiny ships appeared. They looked like giant diamonds floating in space. The crystallines, Zorpox shouted. What are they doing here? A sweet voice filled the room. This is Queen Sparkle of the Crystalline Empire. We detected a disturbance. Is everything okay? Sarah stepped forward. This is Captain Chen of Earth. We're having a discussion with the Zargans. Everything's under control. There was a pause. Then Queen Sparkle spoke again, her voice excited. Earth? Humans? You're back. Oh, how wonderful. We've heard so many stories about you. Can we join your discussion? Before Sarah could answer, more alarms went off. Jack looked stressed. Captain, we've got more visitors. Lots more. The screen filled with ships of all shapes and sizes. Some looked like giant fish, others like floating cities. There were even ships that seemed to be made of pure energy. Messages poured in from all sides. This is the Blob Collective. We sensed interesting brainwaves. Can we join? Greetings from the Plantoid Federation. Are the legends true? Are humans really back? Cyber Alliance here. Your technology is fascinating. We must learn more. Sarah looked at Zorpox. The big Zargan seemed shocked. I don't understand, he said. Why is everyone so excited about humans? Commander's Lob spoke up. Sir, remember the old stories. Humans were known for bringing people together, for solving impossible problems. Everyone thought they were gone forever. But now they're back. Sarah smiled. Looks like we have a chance to live up to those stories. What do you say, Admiral? Shall we welcome our new guests? Zorpox looked around. His crew was nodding eagerly. Even his tentacles seemed less angry. I suppose it couldn't hurt to talk. The next few hours were crazy. The horizon became the center of the biggest space party in 5,000 years. Aliens of all kinds beamed aboard. The halls filled with strange sights, sounds, and smells. In the main hall, Sarah watched as humans and aliens mingled. Jack was showing a group of blobs how to play cards. A human engineer was deep in conversation with some Cyber Alliance robots. Even Zorpox was laughing, his tentacles waving as he told jokes to a group of plant-like aliens. Queen Sparkle floated up to Sarah. The crystalline queen sparkled like a diamond. Captain Chen, this is wonderful. For years, the galaxy has been divided. But humans, you have a gift for bringing people together. Sarah smiled. We're just being ourselves. But I'm glad it's helping. Suddenly, a small alien that looked like a walking book ran up. Captain, I'm from the Galactic Library. We must record this historic moment. The return of humans is the biggest news in millennia. As the party continued, Sarah found a quiet corner. She looked out at the stars, thinking, they had slept for so long, missed so much. But maybe that was okay. Maybe the galaxy needed a fresh start, a reminder of what was possible when people worked together. A voice interrupted her thoughts. It was Zorpox. The big Zargan looked sheepish. Captain Chen, I was wrong about you. About humans. I see now that you're not a threat. You're an opportunity. An opportunity for all of us to be better. Sarah held out her hand. After a moment, Zorpox wrapped a tentacle around it. They shook. This is just the beginning, Admiral, Sarah said. We had a lot to learn and a lot to share. But together, I think we can make this galaxy amazing. As they rejoined the party, Sarah felt hopeful. Humans were back, and they were making new friends. The adventure was just beginning, and the future looked brighter than ever. In the vastness of space, the horizon glowed like a beacon. It was more than just a ship now. It was a symbol of new beginnings, of bridges between worlds. The age of isolation was over. The age of friendship had begun. Humans saved the day. The horizon buzzed with activity. Aliens from all over the galaxy had come to see the legendary humans. But in the middle of all the excitement, alarms started blaring. Captain Sarah Chen rushed to the bridge. What's happening? Jack, her second in command, looked worried. Captain, we're picking up a massive energy reading. It's coming from the edge of the solar system. Suddenly, the ship's big screen lit up. A face appeared. But it wasn't like any alien they had seen before. It looked like a storm cloud with eyes made of lightning. Pitiful creatures, the face boomed. I am Vortex, the cosmic devourer. For eons, I have consumed galaxies. Now, it's your turn. Everyone on the bridge gasped. Sarah stepped forward. We won't let you destroy our galaxy. We'll fight you." Vortex laughed, the sound like thunder. "Fight me. I am beyond your understanding. Prepare for the end." The screen went dark. Sarah turned to the crowd of aliens. "We need to work together. Does anyone know anything about this vortex?" Queen Sparkle of the Crystallines floated forward. "We have old stories about a galaxy-eating monster, but they're just legends." "Not legends," gurgled Grand Admiral Zorpox. "The Zargans have ancient records of entire star systems disappearing." Other aliens chimed in. The Blob Collective had seen strange energy patterns. The Cyber Alliance had detected odd signals from deep space. Piece by piece, the puzzle came together. Sarah's mind raced. "Okay, we know what we're dealing with. Now, how do we stop it?" For hours, humans and aliens worked together. They shared knowledge, compared technologies, and came up with wild ideas. The horizon became a buzzing hive of activity. Finally, Sarah called everyone together. "We have a plan. It's risky, but it's our only chance." She explained. They would use the horizon's advanced engines to create a massive energy field. The Crystallines would amplify it with their diamond ships. The Zargans would add their weapons to the mix, and every other alien race would contribute their unique abilities. Together, Sarah said, "We'll create a force strong enough to push Vortex back into deep space." As they prepared, Sarah looked around. Humans were working side by side with aliens of all shapes and sizes. It was an incredible sight. Suddenly, space itself seemed to tear open. A swirling vortex of dark energy appeared, growing larger by the second. "That's our cue," Sarah shouted. "Everyone, to your stations." The horizon led the charge, with hundreds of alien ships following. They formed a giant circle around the vortex. "Now," Sarah yelled. Every ship fired at once. Energy beams, laser blasts, and strange alien weapons all focused on a single point. The horizon's engines roared, creating a massive energy field that enveloped everything. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, the vortex began to shrink. "It's working," Jack shouted. "Keep it up." But Vortex fought back. Dark tendrils of energy lashed out, smashing several ships. "We need more power," Sarah called out. "Everything you've got." Across the galaxy, aliens of all kinds joined in. They sent energy from their home planets, boosting the power of the fleet. The battle raged on. It seemed like hours, but was probably only minutes. Slowly, bit by bit, the vortex got smaller and smaller. With a final, earth-shaking roar, Vortex disappeared. The tear in space closed with a flash of light. For a moment, there was silence. Then cheers erupted across every ship. They had done it. The galaxy was saved. Back on the horizon, aliens were hugging humans and each other. Even the serious Zorpox was waving his tentacles in joy. Queen Sparkle floated up to Sarah. "You did it, Captain. You saved us all." Sarah shook her head. "No, we did it. All of us together. Humans might have led the way, but we couldn't have done it without everyone's help." As the celebration continued, Sarah looked out at the stars. Humans had slept for 5,000 years, but now they were wide awake, and they had shown the galaxy what they could do. Grand Admiral Zorpox approached Sarah. "Captain, I must admit, I was wrong about humans. You're not a threat to the galaxy. You're its greatest hope." Sarah smiled. "We're just happy to be part of this big, weird, wonderful galactic family." As news of their victory spread, ships from all over the galaxy came to thank the humans. The horizon became a symbol of hope and unity. Sarah gathered her crew. "Well, folks, looks like we've got a lot of catching up to do. 5,000 years is a long nap, but I'd say we woke up just in time." As the horizon prepared for its next adventure, one thing was clear: the humans were back, and the galaxy would never be the same again. It would be better, stronger, and more united than ever before. The greatest adventure in galactic history wasn't ending. It was just beginning.